interact. Duh! Stop the lies! Go away! Okay, 7th October. Did we start in May? 7th October 1957. The boyfriend. Ooh, check your inbox. Spoiled for him. Rivals lost. Okay. Is there anything about Anna Kazmirek? Ooh.
Good morning, Miss Katz. Miss Katz, good morning.
Okay. If you don't want to talk to me, do not talk to me.
Well, hello.
Hello.
What can I do for you?
I
Nothing,
think
okay. Don't be a stranger.
the doors.
The door is locked. Yeah.
Anything to report, Constable Marlene? All in order? That's what I like to hear.
Pet the cat.
Aw, no. Meow.
Okay, newspaper. The Sputnik Shock. Maryland's newest movie fills theaters. Laboro meine Mami lauscht. Sie weiß, was gut ist. Was there a baby talk about cigarettes? I think. I don't know. Little Rock Night.
Well, if it isn't Katz. It's good you're here.
Hello,
Good
Peters.
day, Peters.
Let's cut to the chase.
Okay.
If memory serves, you're looking into something involving Greener's brutality.
Yes.
Yes, that's correct.
Any interest in a certain
Ooh, yeah.
Klaus Novak?
I am.
Novak? Do tell.
Yeah, he
I
was
found a
involved.
testimony Mr. Novak gave in another case. Might be of interest to you. Not directly tied to the Kazmirek girl, but it could help.
Thank you. Where did you find
Where
it?
did you find this?
Trade secrets, Katz. Just be glad it's in your hands now.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you, Peters.
And don't forget it.
Ooh. What's this new document about? Ooh, records of interrogation. Mr. Novak, you have served as watchmaster in the district of Belov, correct? After the bombing in October 1944. Yes, okay. Were you aware of any instances in which the officers of Brunswick used excessive force or unnecessary violence for any duty? Yes, I'm not proud of that, but it was a different time. You're doing whatever was necessary to keep the good people of Brunswick safe. Were you aware that officers of the Brunswick police were torturing suspects and prisoners? Pause. Yes, some prisoners were beaten to a bloody pulp. Others were kept awake for days until confession. One officer I worked with, Wagner, he liked to push people's heads into a bucket with water, and I'd rather forget all of that. But you have to understand, the top brass pushed for results. They encouraged us to convince suspects to testify. They instruct us to get creative when interrogating suspects, but to always, well, hide the signs of possible incidents in the course of interrogation. There were different ways to hide it. Sometimes you'd paint their faces, use makeup to cover up bruises before taking photographs. Have you ever participated in these activities yourself? I don't recall. Okay, where's Mr. Wagner? Here. Boom! Okay, this... Thank you, Mr. Okay, so... Who called the police? Who planted the suitcase? Who checked? The person who had to check had to leave. Novak. Novak then leave. No, Novak isn't here. Wagner is still talking to... I believed you, Mr. Okay. He beats Anna for a confession. Wagner. Why is that? Okay. Suspects. So this is evidence numero uno. Transcripts. And I think this, which shows more evidence of... Who searched Anna's room and confiscated the suitcase? Those two, but I'm still not that sure. Mr. Wolf Cushman arrives soon. Mr. Peters wants to talk to you. Scold, and I suggested he can ask you himself. Mr. Barb requests an update after the last one. Asked me to remind you about the warrant. Oh yeah. Christianity over communism and Yugoslav leader. Okay. Check the inbox.
Miss Katz, Wolfgang Kirchmann has arrived.
Is he
What's
ready?
your impression of him?
He's obviously uneasy. He's in his army uniform and appears quite agitated.
Hardly surprising. High time. I'm coming.
Examine Wolf Cushman. Yeah, I'm excited for this.
Mr. Kirchmann, good morning.
Ooh.
The rank is Hauptmann.
I'm sorry.
Of course, Hauptmann Kirchmann. I apologize.
Yeah, cut the
I'll just cut to the chase.
Do.
I wanted to talk to you about the case of Anna Kazmirek. I believe you're familiar.
Yes, I am. Haven't you all done enough to her?
Anna's
I need you to tell me about Anna's arrest.
Very well, since you need me to.
Okay. I wonder who's going to frame to call.
It hadn't even been a week since the Brits left the town on fire. We were all there. Anna and Heidi, a friend of ours, had just returned from work.
What happened?
What happened then?
What happened? You know it damn well already.
Why the shelter?
And why were you at the shelter on that particular morning?
I was visiting Anna.
Could you be more specific?
I was there to check on Anna and help her in whatever way I could. She was tired after her shift, she and her friend. I offered to take care of them. I do not expect a woman of your position to understand it, but she did just lose her home.
Heidi and Anna?
How would you describe Heidi's relationship with Miss Kazmirek?
Closer than sisters, those two. Inseparable. Except for when Anna was with me, of course.
Ooh, is someone jealous?
Did you salvage anything from your old home?
No, of course not. We had just evacuated all those places. Scavenging them would be highly illegal.
I didn't ask about scavenging, just...
I didn't.
Okay. So, what was I doing again? I went out here to investigate. Ooh. Not in
I'd say it was rare for a soldier not to be in active duty at the time. What were you doing in Brunswick?
Oh, yeah,
What was I doing? I was back from the front. My friend's dead, my city gone. What was I doing? You tell me.
Heidi?
Tell me about Heidi.
Anna's best friend. Only friend. Other than me. Hot-headed, loud-mouthed, headstrong. Always had to be right. That she had in common with Anna.
Ooh. The way he's referring to Anna seems a bit suspicious. Like he's kind of irritated at her, in a way. Okay, Emilia?
What can you tell me about Emilia?
A snake. A proud one too. Always thought herself better, above everyone else.
Okay. Okay, so let's see what's next. I think now it's
I
going
had
to be the
just
call.
stepped out to the kitchen when she started it all. Becker, that snake. I could hear her out in the hallway on the phone.
I think it was easy. I think he actually called. Well, they both called her. Like, but
Did you hear what she said?
it's weird
Not
that,
enough to understand her plan.
but it's a bit strange.
She was talking with the police, reporting a stolen suitcase. If only I had heard her say Anna's name.
I still don't know though why he was crying though. That is the only thing that seems a bit
What
strange.
did a regular day at the shelter look like?
I'm hardly the right person to ask. I didn't live there, wasn't there all the time. I only visited when I could see Anna.
I think Mr. Hans is the most reliable source so far.
How were the tasks divided among the people in the shelter?
They had some system, but I wouldn't know. Each day there were different tasks Anna would have to do, both for herself and her mother. I took over whenever she'd let me.
During the
What happened to you during the bombing?
My family was lucky enough to quickly find their way to one of the bunkers. Myself, I didn't join them. With all hell breaking loose, I stayed to help evacuate the others.
I think all Wolf did was call, but then I think Amelia seems to have taken the lead and everything. Oh, okay.
For once, the officers didn't take long to arrive. Figures. 2 of them, protective police. A tall, weedy imbecile, and an older man with a mustache. He seemed to be in charge. I tried to stop them, asked them what was it all about. Why were they there? They were less than forthcoming.
What next?
Becker pointed them to Heidi's room. They locked themselves in with the girls, refused to let me join them. And I was so busy worrying about them, I didn't even think I should keep my eye on Becker.
Becker?
Why? What did you do?
She sneaked off to Anna's room with the damned suitcase. I should have noticed, realized it. I should have stopped her. What a fool I was.
Oh.
I'm not sure how much time had passed before they opened the door. The tall one, he dragged Heidi out to the kitchen. He was done with playing nice.
Ooh.
What did he do?
He shoved Heidi towards us, hurling threats and insults. Pathetic. He demanded we told him which room was Anna's. Becker didn't hide her excitement as she showed him.
How did everyone else in the kitchen react to this?
Heidi was livid. She was screaming at that Chupo boy, daring him to lay one finger on her. She knew it wasn't right what they were doing to Anna. Oh, and Becker was smiling that little, arrogant smile of hers. How could I have been so blind?
The officers?
What do you remember about the officers?
The older one reeked of cigarettes, had a mustache, glasses, was clearly the one in charge. How a person with that little respect for his duty got to his position is beyond me. As for the tall imbecile, an insecure greenhorn trying to put on airs, desperate to prove his authority. All that while looking as if he never hit puberty, Would have been funny if not for...
Was there anybody else in the house at that time?
I can't account for everyone. These were cramped quarters. But Becker, Grunwald, Anna, and me, we were around.
What can you tell me about your family's situation before the bombing?
Nothing that would concern you. I'd only just returned to the city, got a leave from service. Spent most of that time with Anna. All the time she could spare.
What can you tell me about the conflict between Miss Kazmirek and Emilia?
The snake hated her, and that's putting it mildly. I don't know why, but she really did, to the point of wanting her dead. To the point of getting her killed.
Did Miss Kazmirek have any previous encounters with the police?
No. My Anna was nothing like that.
Father?
Where was her father?
Dead. Passed away when Anna was 5. She told me she could barely remember him.
How did Miss Kazmirek come to know Mr. Hens?
She used to work for him. Same with Heidi. He was quite a well-known man among the locals. Respected, dependent. From what I've heard, he took in Anna's mother after it was all done.
What can you tell me about your relationship with Miss Kazmirek?
What am I supposed to say? The hell do you want to hear? We were together, in love, planning to get married once all that nightmare was over. We were happy. So there we were, me, Heidi, and Becca. 3 friendly neighbors, just waiting for the sky to fall. At least the 2 of us. For Becker, it must have been Christmas. What could we do? All we needed was one good look at Becker to understand the whole thing. It was her. She planned all of it. This was how she finally got rid of Anna.
What makes you so sure it was all part of Emilia Becker's plan?
You weren't there. You didn't know her like I did. She was beaming, radiant, just full of herself. A pity we didn't get the time to confront her.
Why? What stopped you?
The police boy came out of Anna's room, grinning. He had a suitcase. The suitcase.
What did you do?
What did the 3 of you do then?
Becca struck immediately. Said the suitcase was hers, that Anna took it from her house, from the ruins of her house. That Anna was a looter, a traitor to the nation. And Heidi? She kept it together. As soon as she heard Becca's lies, she took off to get help. Smart. Wish I could say the same about myself. It didn't change anything in the end.
Suitcase?
The suitcase. What can you remember about it? Had you seen it before?
No, never. No one's ever seen it before. No one.
So?
Then it's all a blur. Like when I was at the... I couldn't think straight. I couldn't really think at all. I remember barging into Anna's room.
Anna's mother.
Tell me about Teresa Kazmirek.
She seemed a kind woman. Weird, withdrawn, but kind. The few times she actually spoke with me, she told us some stories from back, wherever she was from. Somewhere east, would be Poland.
Hauptmann Kirchmann, I have to ask. Is it possible Anna did in fact loot something?
I'd appreciate if you stopped insulting her memory. And no, it's not possible.
From the east.
You said the Kazmireks were from somewhere east?
Yes, their origin was important for her, having grown up on her mother's stories. She always said she wanted to visit their former hometown. The way she talked about it sounded like she even wanted to live there.
What did the Kazmireks have with them?
Not a long list, and in all honesty, at this point, I don't even remember.
Why did you go to Anna's room?
Can they
I
have
was
the suitcase
trying to
back
find something, anything to prove she was innocent, that it was Becker all along. She must have left something behind. She had to.
again? And did you find
Tossed
anything?
around everything, pulled out every drawer.
Did you find anything to prove Emilia Becker meddled with Anna's room?
No, of course not. We wouldn't be sitting here if I did.
But if you're in on it, and you did actually find something, would you really reveal something, knowing you would also get part of the blame? Probably.
Were there any conflicts between the shelter's inhabitants?
Other than the Becker snake and her vendetta against Anna? No. Not that I know of. Next thing I know, I was back in the kitchen. Alone. And I could hear them.
You say them. What did you hear exactly?
Behind the door. Behind the damn door. They wailed on her. Both of them. Again and again. They called her trash, a looter, a whore, a parasite, a pest. The walls there were so thin, I could hear it all. I did. They had to carry her out. She was barely conscious.
Okay.
And her
Okay,
face,
both of them, okay.
my Anna's face. They must pay.
What did you do?
What then? Did you do anything?
No. No. We're done here. We're fucking done here. This.
Before you furiously storm off, there's one more document I'd like to ask you about.
I'm not.
You will want to see it. According to it, you already admitted your guilt.
Okay, sorry. Wolfgang. It would be a waste of time to ask what you were thinking of. No clear card decision on me. Contrary, there's nothing I can do because pick the exact first time to put your son, the exact moment we need. What did you think would happen? I think this has to be it. This is the part of
Can you tell me what this man is referring to? This man, your uncle. Did you contact him about Anna's arrest? Did you ask him to help her? cover for you. What is this plan he refers to?
Idiot.
Excuse me?
She had it all planned and
Oh, I mean,
Idiot.
okay. Yeah, he's calling himself an idiot.
I have nothing to say to you. You have your proof. I just hope you have enough for that snake as well.
I feel like there's still something missing. I should give more thought to that house search idea.
I don't know. Because we still don't know how much of Amelia's story. Oh, sorry. I don't think we. Because we don't know who exactly.
Miss Katz.
Thank you, Paula.
Miss Katz. Good. I hope the investigation's proceeding apace.
It's going
Despite the
well.
previous issue, I must say I feel confident. As of now, the case seems quite clear.
I often thought that, only to be blindsided in court. We must be careful. We must question our decisions. Always, Miss Katz.
I understand, Mr. Bauer.
Very well then. I assume the reason for your visit is the warrant we discussed? To have one of the witnesses' houses searched?
Yeah.
Yes, Mr. Bauer.
So I understand you have a finished theory on what had actually happened on the day of the arrest.
I'm just particularly interested in one of my witnesses. I suspect they know more than they let on.
I see. This is the only chance, Miss Katz. We will not be able to get a warrant for another house search. I suggest you make sure your decision is the correct one.
Who are the options? So we have. We're definitely. I don't think we need to search Heidi's house. So Heidi doesn't make sense to search her house. I'm definitely sure that I don't think she had anything big to do. Amelia was like, so she might have a plan somewhere. Even Kirschman, but because we don't exactly know who exactly tortured Miss Kirschman. I mean, no, Anna. So, I think we'll have to search, I think, Amelia's house.
I'm sure of my decision, Mr. Bauer.
Yeah.
Very well, I'm listening. Who should we get a warrant for?
Emilia Becker, the neighbor.
Okay.
Let's search her.
Let's see what comes of it. Good luck, Miss Katz.
Look closer. Order a house search. Dr. Peters.
Miss Katz.
Thank you.
Oh, where's Dr. Peters? I think. It might have been like a task.
Heard you have something interesting.
Oh,
Ooh,
Katz.
good.
Good. Yes, but I don't even know where to start. Best see for yourself.
Okay. Ooh. Just honestly, I should have gotten this before. Luther, Hans Fischer, Joseph Wagner, Adolf Fuller, Schultz, Friedrich Becker. Okay. Wilhelm. Okay. Rudolf, Hans. Yeah.
Why are they burned?
They were saved from a fire. When our boys evacuated Breslau, they decided to burn their office behind them. Didn't want the Soviets to take any of their documents.
It wasn't filled out. What am I looking for?
Keep looking. Check the others.
Enclose the command of the Auschwitz concentration.
Wait, is that a signature?
And
I have a judge.
Are they all empty?
Wait a moment.
keep going.
Skrovich.
So,
Oh.
They didn't sign off on false information.
they signed off on no information.
A list in blanco for the wardens to fill out however they wanted. A free ticket to cover up any murder.
Any number.
Any number of murders.
Ooh.
It's incredible. I can't. No. Actually, I can very much believe it. Of course, that's what they do. Anytime a prisoner was killed for whatever reason, they had this. All that was needed was just to write a lie, and it's already certified. The guards, the administration, the judges, everyone was in on it. Everyone is complicit.
Ooh.
Kranich. Who's that? For some reason the name sounds familiar.
Not surprising, he has a law firm in Frankfurt. Bergmann, Kranich and Partner. It's quite well known.
Oh.
I actually got an offer from them.
Oh.
But back in the day, he was actually a judge.
Wait, Bergmann, Kranich and Partner?
Yes,
No, that's... Bergmann's my father's friend. I used to get Christmas gifts from him. My father wanted me to work for them.
good thing you didn't. I don't know about Bergmann, but Kranich was clearly involved.
Yeah,
What about Judge von Stamm? Are any of these signed by him?
A couple, just as empty as this one.
True for all reports?
Is this the case for all of these reports? Were they all...
Pre-signed, cover-up, highly illegal.
all of the above?
Hard to say at this point, to be honest, but I think it's quite likely.
What now?
Then what now?
Now I have to go to Poland.
Ooh. What?
I'm sorry, I don't think I heard you right.
That's where these files are from. Breslau. I need to talk to the man who found
Okay.
them. See if he can tell me anything more. If I'm lucky, he might even have some more of these. I also plan to interview a few of my potential witnesses there. I've run into some trouble trying to get them here, so... What's the saying? If the mountain won't come to Muhammad.
Good
What
luck.
can I say? Good luck.
Thanks. I'll need it. The flight is this Saturday. Sorry I won't be there to see you embarrass yourself in court. But while I'm gone, I asked Paula to give you any files that would arrive for me.
Wait, wouldn't that mean you trust me?
Don't push it. Now, if you don't mind, there's still a lot to do before I leave.
Right.
Okay.
Peters?
Cuts. Wait! Thank you
Ooh.
For
Oh.
what?
for this. Everything. For taking this case seriously when no one else did. For helping me. For listening. Oh, I don't know. You know what? Forget it. Just bye.
There's nothing left for me to do. I should call it a day.
Should we try to close? No, I think for the indictment we should. Also, I think we are going to have the witness with Anna's mom. Okay, come on. Stop the lies, okay. Just the same stuff. Straight up. 12th November. The outcome. Ooh, the outcome of the search. Come on, please.
Miss Katz, they completed the search. Oh, and there's a new anonym for you. Sorry.
Anonym?
Did
Oh.
they find anything?
Oh, they sure did.
Ooh.
Turns out, young Miss Becca was something of a diarist.
Yes. Good.
The officers took the liberty of bookmarking the entries following the bombing.
That's good.
I'd say they prove most enlightening.
Is that so? I'll better give them a read then.
Yes. Okay. Suspects. So they're going to be like, okay, sure. Stealing, no doubt, as if people don't lose enough. Later I saw her bring a suitcase and put it on the bed. We share a wall. My bed is right by it and hers is on the other side. I can hear them when he comes, how he speaks with her, how she lies. I can't take it. Why didn't I think of it earlier? She was there, the damn Polak. I saw her, it's so simple. She brought the suitcase here. If I tell them where she got it, I'll be finally free of the past pest. I just need Wolf to. He'll see. I'll have to finally see. Wait, is that all?
Let's see about that anonym. More death threats is exactly what I need now. This is nothing short of a confession. Why, who could have sent this?
I wonder who would send this. Okay. Dearest mother, dearest father, dear God, I don't know. I am sure that this letter will never reach its destination. We are sounded. The city lies in ruins. We hide in the citadel and wait for it all to end. We will die tonight, and if not tonight, then soon. The Russian bullets have made sure of that. I can feel my life fading. Before I pass on from this world, there are things that were left unsaid. I will say them now. Father, mother, I wish I could have been a better son. More caring, more kind. Forgive me. Emilia Becker, I curse you. I curse your wretched life with my dying breath. But that you will never find happiness and joy again. I hope you die. I hope. Oh my Anna, I am sorry. I know you could never have done all those dreadful things, but I believed her. The fool I was. You remember when the bombs fell, when the city burned? I wish I had never escaped the flames. I wish I never lived. I wish we had more time. I'm sorry, my beloved Anna. Soon I will be gone. I only wish there was a place for me where you are. But I know there is not. Farewell, the Wolf Kirschenkermach. Just prepare the blueprint for the trial. Mr. Barr asks to see you once you're done with the case. Okay. Ooh, okay, and we have so is that all we got? From I thought it was going to be a bit of a more detailed confession. Tuesday we share wait, okay, so there does seem to be like a page missing though. It does seem a bit
Miss
weird.
Cat,
Thank you.
Okay,
How about we switch? You can lead the case and I'll lounge around here. No? Too bad. Oh, I'm glad you are so cooperative.
okay, I think kitchen
oh,
guy.
Miss Katz, didn't hear you come in. Tough day, isn't it?
Try a tough week.
Tough month.
Year.
How are you feeling?
Oh yeah, they have actually been working.
I'm
Alright.
alright. Last day of this case. I just have to power through it.
I'm glad to hear that. Here's hoping the next one won't be as depressing.
Good luck with that. It's been a tough case.
I can imagine. With what I've read and heard, for once, I'm glad I'm not in your chair. I have no idea who to believe, who I want to believe. It's all so needlessly cruel.
I should get going. Have a case to finish.
Right, me too. Good luck, Miss Katz.
Okay, so I'm to read this newspaper. Okay, counting on code. I might have missed the newspaper because I'm sure there was an achievement for reading all the newspapers. I'm not sure.
Yes.
Later.
Yeah. Your stuff.
I think
Okay, so let's continue. So let's take another read at that diary entry. Seeing no doubt as her people don't lose her, hate her. Later, I saw her bringing a suitcase to her apartment. Put it under the bed. We share a wall. My bed is right by it, and hers is on the other side. I could hear them when he comes, how he speaks with her, how she lies. I can't think of it earlier. She was there, did not care. He'll have to finally see. Okay. So, who called the police on Anna? Anna was Kirschman. That, okay. Becker had to plant the loot while the two of them, okay. Now, who searched the room? And we also, we do have a hint that, okay, wait.
Essie, hello. I hope
Okay.
I'm not disturbing
Let's
you.
finish this. No.
Not at all. Don't worry.
Good, I'm glad. I know how hectic those last moments of a case can be. I wanted to wish you good luck.
Oh, thanks.
I've kept my ear out about your case, and it's a tough one. I'm impressed with how well you have been handling it. Impressed and a little bit worried.
Thank you. That's kind of you to say.
It's the truth, Essie. I am proud of you.
You've been saying that a lot lately. Is everything all right?
Yes, of course. I've simply come to realize I've never said it enough, and I should have. I'm proud of you, and nothing can change that.
Who do I...
The line is busy.
All right. Now to see what Mr. Bauer wanted to talk about.
Not yet. So, let's look at the hints we have on the notebook. Because so, did anyone see the suitcase in Anna's room? Boom. What's her name? Emilia did. So this one, we know. So we know who this was. Now, who planted the suitcase in Anna's room? Amelia. Okay, let's do the so. So I took the beautiful red scarf. No. I put it on the bed. So Amelia knew. Woman's blouse. Put this. Me for my carelessness. And then we can use the Grunewald. And maybe I use the distraction to drown the suitcase in. Boom. Conclusion. Who searched Anna's room and confiscated the suitcase? This has to be the older guy. So the mustached officer pushed me out of the room and okay. But this guy says, yeah, the tall officer, yeah. So now we need a third. What kind of art? we are doing. This is on who searched Anna's room and confiscated it. That's good. We're teaching intelligence. Okay, so I think we have to do this one then. Again, who made sure Anna was considered a traitor? Emilia. So we can use this diary entry. Very free of a test. I think we can use the confession from his mother, his father. My alarms, I'm sorry. Let me get okay, whoever elevated charges, I really hated that. Maybe and who beat Anna for? Okay, yeah, I think this makes sense. So now we have to put it all into. So who planted? Okay, Becca. Novak searched. Who made sure Becker? No. Becker made sure Anna was considered a traitor. Novak left. Wagner beats Kazmirek. Okay. Whew.
Miss Katz, thank you for coming. I understand the case is ready for court.
I think so. Yes, it is.
Mr. Bauer.
That's good to hear.
Okay.
Miss Katz, I won't dance around the topic. I have an important question for you.
Yes?
Why are you here?
You asked me.
Because you asked to see me.
Technically correct. Alas, technicality won't work this time. You've always known this job would not be easy or grateful. And by now you're sure to have noticed that what you knew didn't even begin to cover it. People hate you. They want to see you fail. Celebrate every hurdle in your path, curse, and discredit every hard-won success. Hardly an inciting prospect for a promising lawyer of your intellect. And, let's face it, one blessed with the connections of your father. With all the options open to you. Why did you choose to join the most hated man in Frankfurt?
My father?
What does my father have to do with anything?
I know it's indelicate of me, but we both know how this world works. Just your surname could have gotten you a much nicer position than anything we can offer here.
I wouldn't say I've thrown anything away.
And hopefully you're right. Yet knowing our reputation, your time here is likely to be a detriment to your future career.
That is the right thing to do.
As you said yourself, it's the right thing to do.
And for me, that remains true.
But for you?
But is it for you, Miss Katz? Is it really?
I had a friend.
I had this friend growing up. Her name was Lotte. Charlotte Lang.
And she was Jewish.
The Langs were our neighbors. Lived on the ground floor across the street.
Ooh, finally we're getting
They had the
some.
entire floor to themselves. They were bankers before the war, before the racial laws. Our families were close. Mr. Lang studied together with my father, and they used to partner in some business. Lotte was the same age as me. Our parents knew each other, we were both girls, and we lived right next door. Was it even possible for us to not end up best friends? It sounds stupid now, talking about a friendship between children, but we were close, like sisters.
But it didn't last.
I don't remember when things changed, not exactly.
Oh, we're back playing hide and seek.
You don't really see those things when you're a kid. Slowly, our parents became weird around each other, different. Then the Nuremberg laws happened.
Were enacted.
My mother, she forbade me from seeing Lotte. Said she was a bad influence. That I shouldn't associate with her element. We got into an argument. No, that's not right. I had a tantrum. I was 8, so any sort of lip from me was a tantrum.
And did you stop?
No, not at first. Not for a while. We tried to keep together. Mostly at school, away from our parents. Then our classmates started whispering. Then the older and younger kids, the teachers. And little by little, I abandoned her.
Oh, this is really nice.
Other than me, she'd never had many friends. With me gone, she was alone. It was hard at first. It hurt. Lotte was my friend, and I left her. I knew it was wrong, but I still did. I was angry, embarrassed. With my mother, with the teachers, with everyone, including myself. But again, little by little as time passed, that's the worst part. It became normal. I remember one time a few years later, I was on my way back from school. Wasn't far from home, just the next street over. I heard it before I saw it. 3 older boys from school in Hitlerjugend uniforms. And Lotte. You can guess what they did. She was on the floor. They kicked her around the alley, spit on her, called her. I was there. I should have said something, done something. I don't know.
But you didn't.
They noticed me, confronted me. Confronted. No, that's rich. They didn't even have to threaten me. I ran away anyway. I didn't see her after that. Not until the night.
No, where she got moved out.
The dogs woke me up. They started barking as soon as the cars pulled in. It was the middle of the night, 2 or 3 in the morning. I saw them from my window, lining up in front of the lungs. They kicked the door in. Herded them out like animals. Like filth. Lotte was the last one. I know how it sounds, but before disappearing into the van, for just a moment, she turned towards me. As if she knew I was there.
I see. Miss Katz, would you say then that this work, what we're doing here, is personal for you?
Yes.
Yes, very much so.
A pity. I must say, I find that disappointing. Miss Katz, I cannot overstate this enough. This isn't and cannot be about you. Or about me, for that matter. Or Mr. Peters, Mrs. Fisher, Mr. Wohlmuth, anybody here. Nor should it be about your friend, as tragic as her story is. We are not heroes here. Our goal isn't to avenge, heal, or redeem neither the dead nor the living. Our task, our duty, is much greater than that. We are prosecutors, and what we do is we see justice done. We make sure that all actions have consequences. That's the only way we can stop all of this from happening again. That is why I want to see you in court tomorrow, not to make it up to your friend, not to ease your guilty conscience, not even to give Miss Kazmirek or her family their closure.
Okay.
The one reason you should stand in that courtroom tomorrow is to see justice done, to uphold the law, because that is our duty.
Okay.
I still need to get Paula to prepare the indictment.
Okay, so yeah, we would do.
Miss Katz, are you done with the case?
Yes.
As ready as I'll be.
Isn't that always the truth? I'll start writing the indictment to send tomorrow.
Okay.
In the meantime, I'm still here for a few hours, just in case you want to change anything. Thank you, Lord, for Mr. Bauer's stance on overtime pay.
There's nothing left for me to do. I should call it a day.
Court time. Okay, I'm really excited. Oh,
It's time.
yes. Yeah, this was hard.
Order. This court is now in session. Judge Ernst Braun presiding, considering the case of Anna Kazmirek. Speaking for the prosecution, counsel Esther Katz. Representing the defendants Wagner and Becker, counsel Rudolf Schramm.
Yeah, this guy again.
And counsel Sigmund Hauptner, representing the defendants Grunewald and Kirchmann. I ask the prosecution to present their theory. Ms. Katz, the floor is yours.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Anna Kazmirek was a barely 19-year-old girl who had just lost everything she could call hers. She was the only daughter of a sickly widow and the only one who could provide for both of them. She had friends, she had a boyfriend. She had dreams, hopes. She had a future. We are not here today to debate the accusations against her or the possibility of her guilt. We are here because of the crimes against her. On the morning of October 20th, 1944, two officers of the Schutzpolizei arrived at the temporary lodgings of Anna Kazmirek. The reason behind their visit was an anonymous phone call made earlier that same morning. The caller had reported a theft, naming Ms. Kazmirek as the perpetrator.
Okay. We have.
This caller was none other but the accused Wolf Kirchmann, the girl's boyfriend.
What?
Leaving his motivation aside for the moment, it is because of his call that the police became interested in the victim. Because of his accusations. Anna Kazmirek was tortured and killed because Wolfgang Kirchmann reported her to the police.
That's right. He wanted to get rid of her.
What? I knew it. You're just the same as the rest of those
Order.
Objection, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Hauptner?
According to Mr. Kirchmann, the person to make the call was the accused Emilia Becker, who, as we learned from our witnesses, made no secret of her distaste for the victim. Having learned of the crime, Mrs. Becker did what she believed was right. She called the police to inform them of her suspicions,
Mr. Chairman, I have to...
which in itself does not constitute a criminal act. So I must ask, why should we consider the prosecution's theory of more probable?
Objection sustained. Unless Miss Katz can
Certainly, Mr. Chairman.
So yeah, we have the neighbor listening in, and we also have a report from the officials.
The call in question has been recorded under the number 4410200002 and was made at 10:25. According to the police documentation, the caller was male, leaving us with just one suspect.
What?
The accused, Wolfgang Kirchmann.
You've proven your point, Miss Katz. Objection overruled.
Yes.
You piece of shit.
Miss Grunewald, this is a court of law.
Tragedy. Tragedy.
Let's proceed, Miss Katz.
During the interrogation of Miss Kazmirek, the officers recovered a suitcase hidden in a room. It matched the description of the stolen items provided in the phone call. As you have heard, however, some of the witnesses claim that said suitcase was planted. It is the prosecution's belief that this was the case. Taking advantage of the chaos created by the officers, the accused Emilia Becker entered the victim's room and placed there the would-be stolen suitcase.
I saw her do it!
Becker, you snake!
Order. Order.
Objection. Mr. Chairman, nobody had to hide anything. The officers found the suitcase in Miss Kazmirek's room because Miss Kazmirek hid it there. We must not forget that she was found guilty. She confessed to her crime. Surely Miss Katz isn't trying to deny that.
Miss Katz, your response? Is there anything?
Certainly.
This one we might need to use the hinge but I think it is because there. Okay. Yeah, and
I don't see how this serves as evidence for your claims. Please continue, Miss Katz.
Halfway through their interrogation, one of the officers left for the victim's room and searched it for the suitcase in question. It is possible that, having found it, this officer could have left the building, placing him away from the crime scene for the events that followed.
okay.
The officer in question was the deceased Klaus Nowak.
Objection. According to Mr. Wagner, he was the one to search the room. Why has the prosecution decided to distrust the words of an officer of the law?
Miss Katz?
Gladly, Mr. Chairman.
I'm not sure.
Okay. Oh, so this one we do have attempts. Okay. Somebody must have seen the person who left with the suitcase. Okay, so the old officer left with the suitcase. So yeah, that makes sense.
I remain unconvinced.
Okay, there should be a description of said person.
Mr. Novak has been recognized as the officer who searched the room by multiple witnesses, including one we haven't heard from, Mrs. Hausler, a neighbor of the victim. She had seen and talked with him as he left the scene with the suitcase in hand.
I must have misremembered that.
Misremembered. Indeed. Mr. Shah, your objection is overruled. Miss Katz, if you would.
Here, I need to bring your attention to the crime Anna Kazmirek was sentenced for, that of looting, treason. Yet, as we've heard, the charges the officers had arrived to investigate were merely of theft. How did this change? When did theft become looting? It was because of the words of Emilia Becker.
Oh, finally, that's right.
Mrs. Grunewald, I warn you.
Following the retrieval of the suitcase, Mrs. Becker approached the officers and offered a clarification. She claimed the suitcase in question was hers.
I did not.
And had been taken from the ruins of her bombed house, a voluntary evacuated building.
That's right. I heard her say it.
It is the prosecution's position that she knew this would qualify the supposed crime as looting, branding Miss Kazmirek a traitor.
This is madness.
Mrs. Becker did so fully aware of how harsh the verdict would be.
Objection. Why has the prosecution chosen to ignore the testimony of Mrs. Becker? She states clearly that it was Wolfgang Kirchmann who told the officers the suitcase had been looted rather than stolen. That because of him, Miss Kazmirek's charges were elevated to those of looting and treason.
Miss Katz, can you...
Certainly.
Okay, so why? Okay, yeah, this one. Whoever elevated must have really hated her.
In her diary, Mrs. Becker claimed to have seen Miss Kazmirek during the act of the supposed looting.
Oh, for the love of God.
As you can see, she referred to the victim as a Polak in light of her mother's descent, the topic of which would later be used to justify the harshness of her verdict. Mrs. Becker, may I add, remains the only person claiming to have seen Miss Kazmirek commit any crime.
Okay.
Thank you, Miss...
And you know what? I do it again.
Mrs. Becker.
Are you all blind? Are you idiots? So what if the damn suitcase wasn't mine? So what if I embellished it a little bit? She wasn't some innocent angel, you idiots. That damn Polak was a thieving, manipulating whore.
Order. This is a court of law, not some Sunday market, and you will behave accordingly, Mrs. Becker.
Ha!
The same goes for you, Mrs. Grunewald. Now, let the record show that the prosecution has proven their accusation and that the accused has admitted to it. Miss Katz, proceed to your next point.
The final question remains. Today we've heard from 4 witnesses whose recollections of the events varied, to say the least. Yet, they all shared a common point. One event on which all witnesses agreed. Anna Kazmirek did not confess of her own will. Anna Kazmirek was tortured. She was beaten by the accused Otto Wagner, who inflicted significant bodily harm upon the girl, repeatedly assaulting her until she admitted her guilt. She was forced to give a confession that would satisfy the officer, without regard for its veracity.
Objection.
Let's hear it.
The only witness claiming to have seen the perpetrator after the beating is Mr. Kirchmann. And from his testimony, it is abundantly clear that he was not of his right mind. It is the defense's opinion that the testimony of Otto Wagner presents a more plausible course of events. It was the defendant's partner and superior,
If he
Klaus
was in the
Novak,
car
who
though.
tortured the
Was it
victim.
the car though, mister?
Miss Katz, if you...
Certainly, Mr. Chairman.
Conclusion. Yes, yes.
I'm not sure I follow...
There should be evidence of the beating left on the culprit's body. So, we do have the evidence. Over here there isn't anything. Over here there's slightly bit more. Okay, sublime.
I remain
Okay, what else do you need? Violence builds a reputation. Somebody must have heard something. So, yes, okay. Wagner, he liked to push people. Okay, so this one has to be different. Watchmaster, and that being Otto Wagner. Ooh, oh, and this is on the day.
In this photo, you can see an officer with bruises on his hands, which would match those you could get by, for example, beating somebody up. This officer is none other than the accused Otto Wagner, and the photo was taken on the day of Miss Kazmirek's arrest. Mr. Novak, who's also present in the center of the photo, has no such marks.
Very well. I consider your claims proven.
But I had to. She wouldn't admit it. She just wouldn't. She was guilty. She was. I was just doing the right thing.
I've heard enough. All rise. This court has reached the following verdict. In the case of the defendant Wolfgang Kirchmann...
Hauptmann.
Yes. Hauptmann Wolfgang Kirchmann. Born March 17th, 1924, residing at Buschstraße 34, Bonn. For the crime of deprivation of liberty resulting in death, this court finds the defendant not guilty.
What?
As the prosecution proved, Ms. Kazmirek was arrested due to the report made by the defendant. However, as the theory was presented, there is no indication of this being a criminal act. Hauptmann Kirchmann's actions were simply to report a suspected crime. In doing so, he did not break any laws, neither contemporary nor present. Hauptmann Kirchmann, you are discharged. Next in the case of the defendant Emilia Becker, born December 4th, 1924, residing at Kaiserstraße 11, Brunswick. The defendant is found guilty of the crime of murder through indirect perpetration.
What?
Considering the prosecution's proof, no other verdict can be justified. Anna Kazmirek's death was a direct result of the defendant's premeditated actions and knowingly false testimony.
No, this isn't possible. I did nothing wrong.
Defendant Emilia Becker, you are hereby sentenced to life imprisonment. And lastly, in the case of defendant Otto Wagner, born February 23rd, 1918, residing at Georg Westermann Allee 75, Brunswick. For the crime of assault for coercion of confession, this court finds the defendant guilty.
No.
The prosecution has proven beyond reasonable doubt that it was, in fact, Mr. Wagner, and Mr. Wagner alone.
I had to do it.
Who forced the victim to give her confession through torture. Defendant Otto Wagner, you are hereby sentenced to 3 years in prison. This court is adjourned.
Okay. Case solution, yeah, we got half of it. Okay, real case, let's read it, real case. So Brunswick, October 18, 1944, 2 days after the bombing of the city, Amelia Becker filed a complaint about stolen property she had hidden before the air raid. In her complaint, she named Anna Kazmirek, an acquaintance with whom she was in conflict, as a suspect. Days later, officers Otto Wagner and Klaus Novak of the Protective Police arrived at Anna Kazmirek's temporary lodgings, where they interrogated her. She was beaten and forced to provide a confession. The confession perfectly matched events as outlined in Amelia Becker's complaint, and was significantly different from the actual events, which would be confirmed by multiple witnesses decades later. Within 24 hours, based solely on her confession, Anna Kazmirek was charged and tried with looting under the Ordinance Against Public Enemies, commonly called the People's Best Law. Despite her lack of previous criminal history, the absence of any evidence or corroborating testimony, and the positive impression she left on the court, Anna Kazmirek was found guilty and sentenced to death. During the trial, none of the available witnesses for the defense were called, and no attempt to question Anna Kazmirek's confession was made. On November 23, 1944, at 12:07 p.m., Anna Kazmirek was executed by guillotine in Wolfenbüttel. In the years 1952 to 1966, there have been 5 attempts to overturn Anna Kazmirek's verdict. All were unsuccessful. It would only be in 1991 that Anna Kazmirek's case was reopened for the final time. For the first time, witnesses on whom the previous courts refused to call were allowed to testify. They all confirmed Anna Kazmirek's innocence. On March 20, 1991, almost 47 years after her execution, Anna Kazmirek was acquitted. There was no condemnation of the original trial. All names used in the games have been changed from names to repeat with real persons, bearing these names are purely coincidental, but the story remains true and is one of many. Okay. So. We missed 3 items in our investigations. That's really good.
I'm told that year's Christmas at the Wolfenbüttel Women's Prison was quite an event for the incarcerated. It was in no small regard due to the exemplary work of inmate Becker, who volunteered to help organize it. This sort of activism would take up most of her time, as she took it on herself to return the women there to the Lord. To say Mr. Wagner cried at the verdict as laughably lenient as it was, would be an understatement. He bawled, like a little boy. He claimed he was told that she was guilty, that without a confession she'd get away with it, that it had to be done. It's what they all did. It had to be right. And all Otto Wagner ever wanted was to do right. There seemed to be no emotion on Mr. Cageman's face as the verdict was pronounced. While the room got filled with angry shouts and insults, refutals, denials, he simply stood up, silent, and left. He said goodbye to the city on the same day, taking the evening train south back to Bavaria, where his duty awaited. But it would only be 3 days before we'd hear of him once more. It was the house cleaner who found him in the office on the 2nd floor of his house, in full dress uniform fallen on top of his military decorations, carefully laid out on the desk. The pistol already cold, still in his hand. He left no letter. Mrs. Grunewald and Mr. Hans were quick to celebrate the verdict, quick and loud. They ended up having to be escorted out of the courtroom. But Mrs. Hans Teresa Hans didn't join in their enthusiasm. Yes, some justice for Anna was achieved. That's true. But after all, justice was not what she had wanted. What she had really wanted was the impossible. Her daughter back. Why are we here? Why do we pick at these old wounds? Why don't we let the past be? It is because it would be too easy to choose to forget, to ignore, to stay silent. And isn't that how we got here in the first place? Acceptance by silence. The silence of the people who all partook in the system that killed her. A system they created and agreed to. They lived in it, obeying, upholding, and empowering its rules. A system that without them couldn't exist. Yes, we cannot undo what has already happened. We cannot undo Miss Kazmirek's death, but we must learn from it. To choose the truth and not the lie. Justice, not injustice. Right instead of wrong. So no other girl shares the fate of Anna Kazmirek.
Okay, and now we have the epilogue. Epilogue. Continue. Go upstairs. Okay.
Hello? Anybody here?
No money.
The door is locked.
For your colleagues.
The door is locked. There's something in my inbox. Paula must have been here already.
Oh, it's the file from the folder. I should answer the phone first.
Mr. Katz?
Miss Katz, this is Bauer. Could you come to my office, please?
Oh, so you are here at least. I was wondering where everyone had gone. Is this about a new case?
Let's not talk about it over the phone.
Sure, I'm on my way.
Okay.
That sounded urgent. I shouldn't leave Mr. Bauer waiting. The door is locked.
Oh, wait, is that folder about maybe Lottie Lang? Charlotte?
Miss Katz, we need to talk about the future of this department. We will change the way we are working. And I'm afraid you won't get your own cases anymore.
Did I do anything?
Wrong?
It has nothing to do with your performance. Are you familiar with the case Peters has been working on?
Yes, I'm
The
familiar.
blank suspension's already signed?
Exactly. A witness gave us documents that the SS wanted to destroy just before the end of the war. Unfortunately, or rather fortunately, they did not succeed in burning all of them. These documents prove that certain judges gave blanket acquittals for the killing of camp inmates. Of course, we always knew that the tens of thousands of people who were supposedly shot on the run were in fact systematically murdered. The Nazi state tried to maintain the appearance of legality until the very end. The problem of Auschwitz, you would probably agree, did not begin at the gates of Auschwitz and Birkenau. People had to be brought there, which means there were many perpetrators. There was an entire system behind it. With these documents, we could finally succeed in bringing the Auschwitz system to justice. Not only those who actively carried out the killings, or those who gave the orders at the very top, who are either dead or somewhere in South America today, but also those who kept the system running that made it all possible. The desk murderers. We will bring them to justice. Together. That's why I can't give you any more cases. I need everyone to help with this one. We will bring Auschwitz to court.
I'm ready.
Thank you for your trust.
Good. Several packages arrived from Poland. These are more lists of the kind Pete has found. I asked Paula to put them on your desk.
Speaking of which, where is everybody?
Paula has an appointment. Mr. Peters is at court and Mr. Wohlmuth is visiting relatives in Munich. So it's you and me today.
Okay.
Best you get to work. There is a lot to do.
Will do.
Okay.
So, what do we have here? Even more of these, of course. And here's our good friend. That's a new one. Time to expand the suspect list. Wait, this one... I know this one. No.
Chica. Oh, that was a judge.
Oh God. What do I do now?
Ooh, I'm gonna save the game. I want to see both of them getting paid. I'm gonna have to have a spoiler.
Miss Katz,
Mr. Bauer?
what is it? Found something in the files?
It's about my dad. He...
The Auschwitz execution files, recovered in 1945 from a burning courthouse in Breslau, proved crucial in establishing Frankfurt's court jurisdiction over the Auschwitz complex. The files contained lists of prisoners shot in 1942 during alleged escape attempts and named 37 members of the SS as the shooters. With their names now known, the prosecution was able to find over 1,500 witnesses whose testimony served to disprove the validity of those files. The first Frankfurt Auschwitz trial began on December 20th, 1963. Over the next 20 months, more than 300 witnesses testified to the daily atrocities of the Auschwitz concentration camp. For many Germans, this was their first in-depth look into the horrifying daily routine of the extermination machinery at Auschwitz. The vast majority of the accused present at the proceedings showed little to no remorse. On August 19, 1965, over 20 years after the end of World War II, the first Frankfurt Auschwitz trial came to a close. 2 more followed. On July 1st, 1968, a month after the last of the trials, Fritz Bauer was found dead in his apartment in Frankfurt. He was 64.
Ooh, okay. Gardvies, George. Oh, okay. We can't make heaven out of earth, but each of us can do something to prevent it from becoming hell. It's Bauer. Ooh, I've been waiting to see the credits. The game back at the epilogue again. And this time we need to warn our dad. I'm gonna go on the bad side. Boom, 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 boom. Father.
Do I really want to warn Dad? He was clearly involved in these crimes, but he's also my father. Do I really want? He was, but he's also my father. I need to speak to Dad.
Katz?
Dad.
The Auschwitz execution files, recovered in 1945 from a burning courthouse in Breslau, proved crucial in establishing Frankfurt's court jurisdiction over the Auschwitz complex.
So that was the darkest.
The files contained lists of prisoners shot in 1942 during alleged escape attempts and named 37 members of the SS as the shooters.
Play it like 100%.
With their names
like,
now known,
the
prosecution was able to find over 1,500 witnesses whose testimony served to disprove the validity of those
I'll
files.
see you in the next episode. It might, in the next video, might not be.
Auschwitz trial began on December 20th, 1963.
Yeah. I'll find something to play.
Over the next 20 months, more than 300